It is a game in which Alexander Beliavsky showed really his direct plan, and this game can be really fantastic example how to handle anti-Stonewall strategy. Alexander likes this move order: c6 castle castle, bishop f4, take castle, and e3. Generally we can play this move later. We can start with knight d2 or knight c3, but it's not clear yet where knight can be useful. Queen sometimes goes to c2 to b3, but in my opinion the best place for the queen is on e2, because queen will have to protect f2 and to prepare king h1 and rook g1. Knight d7, queen e2. I played later, and Alexander himself, we started to play knight e5 later. But first basic game was queen e2, king h8. After knight e4 would be knight e5 with the idea f3. So king h8, knight c3, queen e7, knight e4 would be answered with rook fc1, and completely different strategy. Now strategy would be to play b4, and with the idea b5 to create a lot of weakness, especially to make weakness on d5 and on c6. So after queen e7 was played king h1. So direct application of Beliavsky strategy. Now cd5. cd5 is never good, because after cd5 rook ac1, threat would be knight b5 and tremendous weakness on c7. So after cd5 ed5, now bishop h3. Now g6, knight g1, rook g1, knight e4, rook g2, with next doubling on the g file. Yusupov tries to keep white initiative on the king side, blocking the g file. Rook g1, knight df6, rook g2, bishop e6, rook g1, rook f8, and a3. You see, it's very important moment. How Beliavsky explained it to me. You double rooks on g file, opponent must be ready for defense on g file, then you start play on the other side. So white plan is typical minority attack, like a bit in Queen's Gambit Carlsbad variation. Yeah. So if black now plays a5, then very strong is knight a4 with the idea knight c5. So after a3, black tried to play bishop d7, b4, bishop e8. Now a5 would be met with queen f2 and before b5. Typical minority attack from Carlsbad. Bishop e8, now bishop takes, knight takes, and rook g3. Protecting knight and preparing attack on the queen side, preparing this majority to performing of this famous majority attack. Yes, knight f6. You see, and now white does not hurry to move to e5. Didn't hurry before, and now it is time, as there are no exchanges. Now it's time to come to e5. If knight e4 now would be followed by rook g3, g6, and f3, with big problems. I mean strategical problems for black. Knight g4, f3, knight takes e5. And here another important moment. White takes not with f pawn, because black would create counterplay with f5, f4, but with d pawn. But it's not just this preventional idea. Main idea, of course, is knight 2, knight d4. Then knight would be extremely strong, controlling all squares in the center. h6. Knight e2, b6. Black tries to do something against this knight and trying to destroy the stronghold on d4. Knight d4, c5, and knight b5. Suddenly it appears that's another weak square in black position, square d6, which is even more vulnerable than d4. King h7, knight d6, and g5. Black tries counterplay, but this counterplay is not so serious. Now rook h3. Now creating some threats on h file. queen g6. Bishop e8 was losing a pawn simply, yeah, and bc5. So it was played queen g6, and now it's time for exchange. And pawn e. Now threat is terrible. e6 check, e6 e7, and it will be later even attack on f5. So black plays king h6, and now knight f7 check. Black is forced now to sacrifice exchange because g5 pawn was hanging. Pawn take, queen f7, and simple strategy, simple realization. White win additionally one pawn, queen d4, rook g8, and rook c1. Now it's time to start attack from the other side. Queen e6, rook g3, g4, and queen f4 check. And next rook c7, so black resigned.